Yeah, I was making a couple of videos on getting out of debt. And again, just unconventional way of thinking about it. And there's some things you have to buy or you want to buy. But if you have to buy or you're gonna buy it, my theory is get the best price. So I'm pointing at this heater up here, and you go in, you start searching around for prices. So that heater I got for installed and bought for half the price. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean I'm sure everybody does that, but I mean it's just one more way. If you don't spend it, it'll help you get out of debt. I mean, I could have just took the first bid or the first 5 bids, but I looked for the cheapest bid. Now I can tell you that when you do that, sometimes there's trouble. So like this heater, for some reason, it's a brand name heater, but after they installed it, it would like explode inside. Not an explosion, but like boom, boom, when it was starting. So I just had to keep after them. Eventually they just came out and switched it within like a month. Now it works fine. So that was an expensive purchase up there, but I saved half the price. So there's one other thing over here. This lawnmower. When we bought this property, the owner had left some lawnmowers. Those I guess they call them tractor lawnmowers. And but there's a couple things wrong with those. I'm just gonna go off track for a second. Is they go really slow, and they have a really bad turning radius. But the problem was they just didn't work. I mean, they were just junk. And so I'm getting old, and we got some pretty steep hills here. They're like that angle. That's pretty steep. A couple spots, and it's pretty scary mowing them. But anyway, so my wife says, let's just pay somebody to do it. So, and that's what the other owner was doing. This is 5 acres. So they were charging $180 every time because it's such a huge piece of property. So I said, well, I'd rather just do it myself, but we're gonna have to buy a mower. So I could have got one of those tractor mowers. You see them down at Home Depot. They're, I don't know, $1,500 to $3,000 maybe. But I didn't want to spend all day mowing the lawn. So my thought about this was, I got 2 choices. I can pay somebody $180 every time they come out, or I can buy a good mower that I'm comfortable on, has the power to go up hills. It's got plenty of room for me because I'm a big guy, and I'll just buy one. So that's what I did. But I didn't buy the cheapest one, and I didn't buy the middle one. I bought kind of above the middle. This was a lot of money. This was $9,000. But again, everybody I know that has those, they keep breaking down. The cheaper ones, and they take forever. So I figured I said to myself, I'll buy one. I'll keep track of how many times I mow the lawn, and I'll count it as $180. Because again, I look at it, I'm not spending it. I might as well put it into something. So I'm sitting down. So this is the 3rd year, and using that $180 every time, it'll be paid for in about the middle of this year. I mean, I wasn't in debt when I bought it, but it was a big chunk of my money that I allowed myself to spend. But now it's going to be paid off in my mind, the way I'm explaining it. And then the rest of the time I mow will be for free, except for, you know, gas. And it'll have some value. You know, it costs, I think I said 9,000. I think that's what it was with tax. And everything depreciates when you buy it, but I bet it's worth 5,000. You know, the way I look at it, you buy something that goes down half. And I couldn't find any of these online. I couldn't find them on Craigslist. Just nobody was selling them, which to me was a good sign, because they're keeping their value because they're good mowers. So anyway, this will go. This thing goes about, you know, I'm just guessing, 10 miles an hour if you want, versus those other ones that go about 2 or 3 miles an hour. Plus it cuts a wide swath, about 5 feet wide. So here's the benefits. I can mow the whole yard in about 3 hours. I'm not giving money to somebody else. It's not a cheapo mower, which I'm going to hate mowing because it takes forever and it keeps breaking down. Anyway, it's just another way to look at money. Did it really get me out of debt? No. But it kept me from going in. For instance, if I just had done like she said and we just kept paying somebody, in the third year, I would now be up to $9,000 I threw away. So again, you just look at things differently. It's how you look at it. Everybody has to buy things. And there's one of the things, this is Harley under this cover. And I wanted a Harley. I didn't want to buy a new one. So I found a nice clean one. If you look at some of my videos, you might see it in the background, or I talk about it, I can't remember. So they were selling for about, you know, after tax, they're about 18,000 to 20,000 bucks for a model like this. So I looked around, I found one for $7,000. It was clean, ran good, fuel injection, everything I wanted. And this is probably 4 or 5 years ago. And and like I said, I fixed my own stuff. So I got new tires and an oil change and anything that was wrong with it. It wasn't much. So now it's, you know, it's paid for. I got it for a third of the price. The only thing I got to do is pay, you know, put gas in it and pay insurance, because I don't ride it that much. It's just one of those things that I wanted to get. So the point of these 3 videos is, I mean, of these 3 items, the lawnmower, the Harley, and the heater, shop around. I think most people don't buy new stuff. I mean, don't buy used stuff as they can't fix it and they don't have the cash, which I understand. But you eventually have to save some cash somehow. Now I'll show you what I think is a waste of money. This car that I'm always showing. You know, I put some money into this car, and it's still got a hell of a long ways to go. But this is one of those things. I mean, I could be going out to a bar. I don't do that anymore, of course. I mean, not of course. You know, I have a construction background. I used to drink and party and all that. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It was stupid. But so this is what I do. If I'm bored and I need something to do, instead of going on a vacation, or because that doesn't really turn me on, go work on this. But I consider it a waste of money. But for mental health reasons, it makes me happy. So anyway, that's it. And the last thing, I don't know if I've talked about it before. So that's 4 things. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I put a second story up here. There was if you look close, you can see, let's say like under that, next to that flag, there's 2 different sized pieces of wood going horizontally. There was, that 2x6 was already here. There was a 2x6 second floor, but there was no stairs. But when I went up there, it was, anybody that knows anything about construction, they had 2x6 spanning 12 feet. Well, 2x6 will only span 6 feet. So I just put wood underneath it. So yeah, I had to pay for the wood, but I didn't have to pay for the labor. So now I got a whole area up there for extra storage. Again, is that getting out of debt? No, but there are some things that add value in the future. You know, like maintaining your yard adds value, plants add value. And maybe this little bit of storage is for me. But anyway, do as much as you can yourself. And everything you buy, think it through before you do it. And I don't know, just some thoughts. Oh, I put lights up in here. Cheapest lights I could get from Home Depot. Oh, talking about Home Depot. Home Depot used to be the cheapest place to get wood and stuff, but you gotta watch your prices. Shop around. It's not the cheapest place for wood anymore. I can get wood delivered cheaper from other places. Then I don't have to go through the hassle of going over there, you know, loading up the cart, bringing it home, unloading it. But there is stuff at Home Depot that is cheaper. Just always shop around. Always shop around. That's a heater running in the background. That's what's making all that noise.